Okay, guys, a new day. More working on the 5.3. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Bottom end. Let's go ahead and finish this up. You just need to put the windage tray on it, the oil pump, pickup tube, new pan, new gaskets, new everything. We'll button this bottom up, and the whole bottom end will be done then. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing started and go from there. I might have to take the front cover off to get to this girdle, and I'll show you more of that here in a minute. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and get this windage tray on the bottom, get the bolts cleaned up. I don't think they're still in the bag here. Anyway, you need to get those cleaned up real quick and get the bottom done. So here we go. Okay, put the windage tray on. It can only go one way. You cannot put it on the wrong way. So anyway, goes down like that. You have to get this on first because the pickup tube will come up and over, and it connects to one of these bolts back here. So the pickup tube is over here. Green O-ring goes on that. So not the black one, but the green one. So at least that's what I use on this one. What's nice about this pickup tube, look, don't have to worry about getting a girdle support. The girdle is what connects to the boat. The traditional LOS pump, let me see if I can find it, has only one side. Here we go. Okay. You know, they make a girdle thing to go around it to pick up the other bolt on the oil pump. Guess what? This pickup tube already has both sides, so no sense having putting the girdle on there. So let's get this snugged down and tighten this down, and this should be done. Also, make sure, you can barely see, make sure you seat this all the way down in the pump, okay? You don't want this leaking here. If it leaks there, you got low oil pressure. So just make sure the gaskets, or that O-ring, is all the way down. So, oops, see, mine kind of popped up there. But anyway, make sure this O-ring gets all the way down into the pump. You don't want any leaks up here, or down there. Also, use Loctite on these. You don't want these coming out at all. So just a cheap insurance just to make sure this pickup tube stays placed. Okay, everything's torqued down, 18 foot-pounds on the nuts. So time to get the front cover on and go ahead and get the oil pan on. So making progress. Okay, I forgot. You have to cut the windage tray in order to fit that F-body pan. So if not, that pan just sets, it will never set flush. So just cut it off back to here, and you should be good to go. I had to do that in my 6.0, I just forgot about it. So anyway, cut it off here, the pan will fit here, no problem. So okay, get everything back together. Okay, now we put the gasket on. Just put a dab of RTV in all the corners. Then you put the gasket on top of there, then the pan. Then we should be ready to go. Turn it over next. Okay, before we start on the head bolts, you have to make sure all the threads been chased. You can take a used head bolt and cut some slits in it and just chase it up and down, and that will clean all the threads out. So now it's ready to get the new head bolts on, because there's a specific torque sequence you have to do to use those, and I'll show you that here in a second. Okay guys, new day. Getting ready to get the heads put on. I got the bolts all cleaned up. They're out there in the shop. Need to get those brought in here, get those things torqued down. Then I painted the intake. Let me show you. Okay, Project Smurf. But anyway, painted it black. Sitting out there drying right now. It's still kind of tacky. It's kind of cool outside, and they typically take a little bit longer to dry. So that's all painted. That's going to look good on the top. He wanted black, so I painted it black. Has all the studs, or not studs, but all the head bolts that's going to go in there. Yes, they are ARP head bolts. So just got them all cleaned up and stuff like that, because they got machine stuff on them. So you want to get them all good and clean. So let's get this inside and get the heads on. Okay, I don't know if you've seen this in my video or not. I have two boxes over there. And I think I gave a short video saying guess what's in the box or something like that, or guess what's in that box. Well, inside there has two more boxes, and inside there has even more stuff. So anyway, kind of a sneak preview of what I'm talking about. Go ahead and open it real quick. So yes, it's a Terminator X Max system. This is a carburetor with fuel injection. Say, let me. Oh, there we go. So basically, it's a 4150 carburetor, but looks just like a Holly carb. It even looks like the bowls on the end. What's nice about this is all fuel injected. So if you flip it over, you can actually see the fuel injection nozzle stuck there on the end. Those are 100-pound injectors each, so there's 4 of them in there. So, but what makes this nice, it's all fuel injected. Kind of looks like the normal carburetor that we know that you have on your car, but it's fuel injected. So this is what's going to go on that guy there. Eventually he's going to go on Project Smurf, sitting out there in the shop. So anyway, thought you'd share that guy, or share it with you. And looking forward to getting this thing on, running, and all that good stuff. So, but right now, let's get the heads torqued down and go from there. Okay, I got all the head bolts in. The next task is to go ahead and tighten everything up and just follow the ARP procedure to the T. And if you want to label, I put little numbers on the torque sequence of everything, so in case you lose track of what you're doing, at least you know which one to go to. So anyway, for people who don't know about the torque sequence, it does have it there on the instructions. So here we go. Okay, we got all the heads torqued down. They're ready to go. Did both sides. We're checking push rod length now, and let me show you how to do this real quick. I don't know if I have a video on it, but it might be something to have a video on. But I know there's other videos out there on the interweb as well that you can look up. But let me give you a quick rundown how to do it. So, okay, go pull this out. This is a push rod length checker. This is a Compcan City 702. Okay, and I don't know if you can see it. You can lengthen it. Each turn is worth 50. Okay, so it starts off at 6.8 total length. Each turn you just add 50 thousandths to it. Okay, so what you do is when you're checking push rod length, you have to make sure you got the lifter on the base circle of the cam, and just use the EOIC method. As soon as the exhaust starts to open, you can check the intake, and as soon as the intake starts to close, then you can check the exhaust. So right now I'm checking the intake, so the exhaust just started open. So you put your push rod length checker in the hole here. So, and you just kind of start to creep up on it. I think the stock length is a little bit longer. I think it's 7.4. But anyway, you just put this length in here, and you go ahead and screw this on out. You know, 8, 9, 10 turns. Then once you get it in there, you just kind of stick it there in the hole, okay? And basically all you need to do next, just put your rocker arm on, okay? You go ahead and torque this down. Go ahead and get it good and snug. Doesn't take much. 22 foot-pounds. Oops, there we go. 22 foot-pounds is all is required. But what you want to do is get that, you know, good and snug. You probably feel it with your hands. Then on the push rod, you want to make sure you can take the up and down motion out of it. And you'll creep up on it. What I mean creep up on, you make this a little bit shorter, tighten this down, see how much slack you have. Then take it back, lengthen it a little bit, then stick it in a hole until it just barely touches. And what you want is you take that total length there, once you pull it out of the hole and count the turns, hope this is making sense, then what you want to do is get a push rod 50 thousandths longer than what's in the hole, or what's on here. Then that will tell you how, you want about 50 thousandths preload on the lifter. So you kind of push down on the lifter. So so you just get the length where it's kind of what they call zero lash. So there's no up and down movement. Then you take it out, count the turns, then add 50 thousandths to that number. You'll come up with the preload. So let me show the numbers I did on this one. Okay, I don't know if you can see that as numbers here or not, but I basically had 10.5 turns. So 10 turns gave me a, if you can see it, 10 turns gave me a 0.5 length plus another 0.25. So the push rod length checker is 6.8 in length. You add the 6.8, or you take these two numbers, take the half plus 0.025, add that to 6.8, and you'll get 7.325. Then what you want to do, you want a preload of 50. Okay, so you just add 0.05 to it. So, and this is what your push rod length is supposed to be set at. Well, 7.375. The stock length is 7.40. Okay, I'm talking only 25 difference in push rod length between the stock and the stock one and this one here. So I just have to decide, do I want to put another 25 preload on that lifter or not? I don't think so. I want to go ahead and probably get it right where I know it's going to be optimal at, and I'll probably get a push rod at 7.375 and put it in there. I'll probably not use the stock ones anyway. Stock ones are pretty good, but this is a fairly new build for the guy, so I think it's worth the expense to go ahead and get the exact push rod length I need. Some will say, yeah, go ahead and run it like that. Go ahead and put another 25 preload, but personally, I don't. What's probably changing the numbers, it could be multiple things. Could be the head I'm using, could be the gasket's thickness, it could be the cam, all that. Could be the lifters as well. So anyway, all those factors can change that push rod length. And you really don't want to put too much preload on the lifter itself, because then what will happen, you're driving that push rod further in the lifter. You really don't want to drive it really far down. Then you'll start bottoming out, or a chance of bottoming out. You don't want to do that. I know on my 6.0, I turn that thing 71, 7200, and I only run 50 thousandths preload on it. And so far, everything's been living that. It's been 3 years now. So, and have zero issues with it. Probably jinxed myself, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, that's what's been working for me, and it's been working pretty good. So anyway, so definitely I'll go ahead and get another set of push rods and do it right. So anyway, so really can't continue any more in this build until I get the push rod done on it. I really can't get the intake on until the paint dries on it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video at this point in the stage. The video might be a little bit longer than I wanted, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching. Share, like, do what you have to. Project Smurf is getting done. Can't wait for the next video, and hopefully that motor will be setting out, or that car. So with that, see you next time. What I'm going to show you is something that should have checked the first time I had the oil pan on. And you can tell how crooked that one is, because it is very, very important to get this in the right position. So